Itis.
Ryan murdered.
Yeah.
Carson.
Okay. I just packed up my clothes for a few days. A few days. A few days. Schedule say I got shows for a few days. A few days. A few days. I'm hoping it's gonna be sunny for a few days. A few days. A few days. Either way, I gotta get this money for a few days. A few days. A few days. I just packed my clothes. Probably packed for more than a few days. And I've been dying to wear these new J's. I got my hat, shades, and toiletries. I'm about to eat, take my order, please. The smell good, be designer. Put some respect on my name, cause I be ringing bells like a Shriner. Now I'm on one and I'm turning up. And you can't cool me down, I'm burning up. Why would you wanna do that? Stay close to the fire, it's keeping you warm. I'm about to get out of town. Run me the bread, I get paid to perform. Meeting new strangers, calling me friends. Keeping it real, no need to pretend. Sure, sold out, packing that too. Keep holding it down, I be back in the packing my clothes for a few days. A few days. A few days. Schedule say I got shows for a few days. A few days. A few days. I'm hoping it's gonna be sunny for a few days. A few days. A few days. Either way, I gotta get this money for a few days. A few days. A few days. I just packed my clothes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard British Airways Flight 707 bound for Prague. Today's flight time will be about 3 hours.
One by one, I'm knocking you out.
Call me king cause I'm that dude. That's true. Said I don't mean to brag. Let me work it out. Forever.
Test straight face, you remember?
They just living for the moment. We living it like we own it. Killing the comp, crushing every opponent. Know if it ain't about money, I don't condone it. Cash and plastic, still carry the chrome shit. Me and my boo coming through on some grown shit. See who I came with, know who I'm going home with. Fill your glass up, Rose Patronus. 3 is company, 4 better's a bonus. I give you the real deal, other dudes are cloning. All depending on how bad you want it. After the wheels fall off, ride the donut. Put it in the air, we stone it. Like they going man to man, we zone it. Swing. Nothing is too much is the slogan. They just lease, we
Nothing's too
own it.
much.
What?
Words that I live by. That's just how I do. I do. I'm young right now, but I won't be forever.
We'll let him get this first verse out and then we go.
Okay.
I wanna roll with me too. Said I don't mean to brag, but I live a life that most can only dream about. Yeah. So baby, come be my dream girl. Pick a fantasy and let me work it out. Yeah. Oh yeah. Tell me where you wanna go, what you wanna do. So we living it like we own it, own it, own it. Said I'm on top of the world. What I need is you. So we living it like we own it, own it, own it. Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah. What's goody?
What's happening, brother?
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Tuesday, June 25th, 2024, and we are here for episode, is it 98?
98.
Episode 98 of your favorite / hottest internet sensation by the name of the No Shortcut Show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for joining us. Thank you as you faithfully support us week in, week out. We want to welcome everybody that's watching, whether it be on Facebook, whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're watching on Twitch, or you happen to be catching the replay on either of those platforms, as well as Apple Music and Spotify. We welcome you once, we welcome you twice, we welcome you 3 times. You're welcome. Come on in, ladies and gentlemen, say hello. Let us know who's here. We can give you a quick shout out and get through our preliminaries and our intros and everything. There's my mom with the perfect attendance. Hey, Mom, I love you.
We were just talking about you on the green
Yeah,
room.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Say mom will be here.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Watch
Who
it.
else is here? Fame, I'm gonna
Faith
let you
is here.
pop them
Faith
up.
is here. What's up, Faith?
My sister Faith,
What's
inaugural guest
happening?
here at No Shortcuts about
Yeah,
what 3 years ago, and she's
that's right.
doing her 30 days of lives with her company, A Touch of Faith. I
Yeah,
think she's on what day 20, maybe now 20 or 21. Faith, how many more
yeah,
days you got? Yeah, and ladies and
yeah.
gentlemen,
Check in with us, Faith.
as you're coming on in, feel free to drop links to your pages, how our audience may be able to follow you and keep up with you, whatever business you may be involved in. I see
Yeah.
Mr. James F. Masters is here. He's got new music out, ladies and gentlemen.
What up,
You might
James?
definitely want to check that out, James. Feel free. I know we get redundant with telling you every week, but please feel free to drop those links, man.
For
It's
sure.
so important as we have projects and different things going on. Drop your links, and we're trying to increase our following amongst each other.
Yeah,
Who
Juan
else
is in
is
there
here?
too. Juan is in the
Juan.
Facebook group. Just got
Okay,
back
Juan.
from vacation in Belize. Welcome
Hey.
back, Juan. Welcome back,
Yeah,
Juan.
yeah, I saw the pictures and everything. Juan and the boss
Yeah,
lady, they was having, and his
and the
son
boss
was, I
lady.
think, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think they had a great time, ladies and gentlemen. And hey,
Yeah,
Juan, go ahead and drop the number in the comments for
you
anybody
know
that
Juan got the number on deck.
needs travel planning and all of that. And he's got the new podcast going on. We got a lot of people in our community that are doing wonderful things
For
this
sure.
summer, man. It's very inspirational, guys, and
It is.
when we can look out amongst you all and see all the numerous things that you guys have going on, and hopefully it works both ways. Hopefully we can inspire you guys as well as
Hmm.
be inspired by you, and that's how it works, man. That's how it
That's
works here
how
at
it
the No
works, man.
Shortcuts community. Feel free to drop some names in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to tag any friends that you wish to join us while we're here live for the
For
next
sure.
hour. Drop a few names in the comments. Make sure you hit those hearts, hit those likes, other emojis, so we can boost this algorithm and increase our reach out there.
We got
You know,
Rhonda checking in from LA. Good morning, Rhonda.
Rhonda's
Rhonda
in
Badikia.
LA. Hey,
Yeah.
Rhonda, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate
Yeah.
you all for giving us an hour or so of your time, hanging out, just having a chat, and we can build
Yeah.
together as a community. We love it. We love
Yeah.
it, man.
Rhonda
It's
got up
nice.
early to watch the show today. So
Yeah, out in
out in
LA.
LA. So Faith says she's on day 25. Day
Day
25 of her
25
30 days of lives. That's
with the
amazing,
touch of
man.
faith.
That's
Yeah, so
awesome.
she's keeping it going, man. Doing a variety of things, not just making things, but a
Yeah.
couple of times she's been making her dinner. Just engaging with her audience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
she's
get,
made some salad. You know what I mean,
yeah,
and
like she said
recommended
last
some.
week, just put it out. Just put it
Just put
out.
it out. Just do it. She says we're gearing up for our virtual summer workshop next month, July 11th through 13th.
Yeah.
And what else did it say? Okay, sign
Sign
up
up.
at www.faceclassroom.com. Y'all be sure
For
to
sure.
follow her at A Touch of Faith. And if you're interested in any of the services that she offers, please do so.
Yeah.
Please do so.
That's what's up, man. How was your week, brother? What's been going on since last
Uh,
Tuesday?
last two. Okay, let me think. Since last Tuesday, I think I had a lighter week last week, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. I did play a. Let's see. Let me see. I think Friday, the chairman of the board and the executives were in Smithfield, North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, nice little outdoor concert series there, man. And then Saturday, I played another homegoing service. I got called, I think, like Thursday to play a homegoing service on Saturday around 2. Did that, and Mellow Groove, my outfit that I'm co-founder of, we did a trio based performance locally here at Friendly Billiards Saturday night. Brandon, shout out to Brandon Stevens, shout out to Timothy
Mr. B.
Ezekiel Williams. Yeah, we did our the original three, at
Yeah.
Friendly Billiards, man. Saturday night, Sunday I was at Mount Dewell Baptist Church, being the minister of music there. And yeah, it's been just chilling, man. After that,
That's good,
then
brother.
Monday is always a day to run errands, hit the bank,
Yes.
grocery store. I
Yes,
did a
sir.
had a little chat with some of my family yesterday morning, and here we are, man. It's Tuesday. It's
Already.
time for another episode.
Yeah. You said
of
you had
No
a light
Shortcut.
week, but you just named 4 gigs. 4 gigs in 3 days.
Yeah. I mean, that was light compared to the week before, and
I
this
know it.
coming week, which I'll
Yeah.
get into at the end of the program. This coming
Yeah.
week is still a little bit off the chain, and I had something that was canceled for today. So it always works out the way it's supposed to. But starting
Yeah.
tomorrow on through Sunday night, I'm a leaf in the wind again. But
That's right.
it's a blessing, man, because you work hard for all these years so your calendar can have some, it can be filled. You don't want to work hard for
That's
all
right.
these years and you still scrounging for opportunities.
True, for
So
sure.
the beautiful thing about summer, which the official first day of summer was June 21st, and summer ain't being bashful at all so far.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but this
Yeah.
time of year, it's a lot going on as far as entertainment and
Yeah.
travel and vacationing and all industries and in general. There's a peak season during the warmer months that we must,
Yeah.
as entrepreneurs, definitely want to take advantage of, because once the fall hits and you're going into the fall and the holiday and the top of the year, those can be opportunities for you to rest a little bit. But God, as
Yeah.
they say, strike while the iron is hot.
That's
What
right,
about
man.
yourself, sir?
Well, yeah, I'm on vacation mode, brother. I mean, I got a few weeks of no events for right now. This is the
Uh-huh.
hottest part of the year in my business, so
Yes, it is.
we try to, I tried to take all of July off, but it didn't work out. I actually end up booking some stuff for July, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm just using the time to work on some projects at home. Get the marketing revamped, the branding revamped, to a lot of stuff that's been going on in the head. Now it's
Yeah,
time to get them out. Working
absolutely.
on rebuilding the website. Up in the social game and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of stuff
Yeah.
I'm
Tweaks.
retooling,
Yeah,
tweaking while I
yeah.
have the downtime as far as actually performing. I'm not doing that for the next few weeks, and just
Mm-hmm.
spending some time with the family, man. We getting this quality time.
Yeah.
Of course, I did the prison ministry yesterday. It was good to be
Mm-hmm.
back. I went last Monday, and last
Okay.
Monday was my first time in a few weeks because I've been working so much. But
Yeah.
went back yesterday again to work with the brothers in the prison, and it was amazing. It's always very very fulfilling, and
Yes.
we really end up changing some lives out there. So that was good.
That's great.
And
That's
then
great.
nothing really happening this week either, except for just stuff around the house and computer type
Okay.
work and working on
Yeah.
podcasts with Juan and
The
usually
travel
events and all. So
people. Yeah,
shout out
that's
to
the
the Travel
travel
People
people
Pod
and Women Worth and
and
Weddings.
Women Working Weddings. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Famous is a professional podcast producer, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen,
He don't really toot his own horn. When he do
I
toot
don't.
toot his own horn, it sound like a bicycle horn.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Listen,
yeah. But he's doing a lot behind the scenes. He
I'm
produces
trying.
this platform as well as being a co-host. So yeah,
I'm
definitely,
trying to,
man.
man.
Salute.
I can tell you a writer because that was a amazing segue talking
Yeah.
about producing podcasts and things like that. I get
Uh-huh.
inspired by our guests.
Yeah.
He is a podcast host, and he helps produce multiple shows and podcasts for himself and for others.
Yes.
And he's also we've been talking him up for a few weeks now. Mental
Mm-hmm.
health, as we've been on our subject of mental health for the past few weeks, we've been talking him
Yes.
up, and I said I got somebody coming soon. I got somebody coming soon, and
Yes.
I just love what they're doing. We did have we spoke to Troy a few weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
Troy Johnson of the Bro
From the
Code
Pro Code.
Show,
Yeah.
and Troy said, "Yo, y'all gotta get Cornelius up here. Y'all gotta get him up here." I said, "I've been talking to him." So without further ado, let's welcome
Yeah.
up host of the Bro Code Show, mental
Uh-huh.
health advocate and wellness coach, Cornelius Kirk. What's happening?
Yeah.
What's good,
Yes.
fellas? What's
Yes.
good?
Welcome.
Hey, it's
Welcome, man. It's a
good to
pleasure to
catch up
have you.
with you.
Yeah, man. That Jadakiss intro, man, got me
Got
back
you
here.
going?
I was took me back a little bit, baby.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. And Famous has to play that version of it so Facebook doesn't
Yeah,
flag us, and we don't have the
yeah.
ability to type during the broadcast. We don't own the rights to
That
this
was
music.
that was not copyright hell. What's
Yeah.
up,
Oh,
Crystal
hey,
Stewart?
Crystal Stewart, one of our faithful followers of the chairman of the board. We just saw Crystal in Smithfield, her and her sister Jackie last week. Thank you, Crystal, for joining us. We appreciate you for being here.
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
up
yeah.
with you, Kirk?
Yeah, man. I am. First of all, thank you. It feels a
Mhm.
privilege to be on your platform. I
Yes, sir.
love what you brothers are doing. You know that, and anything we talk about, I'm ready to go. So, man, I'm really in a good space in life. I'm very, very grateful for everything that's happening in my life. A lot of the things that y'all already mentioned, and then things that I never even talk about. So, I'm excited for this conversation.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, I'm
sir.
excited to
Yes,
talk
sir.
about it too. Let's start off with where you're from. Tell the audience, a little bit about where you were born and raised and what your childhood was like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm from Michigan, man, Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Oh, okay.
There is a
Hey,
There's the
Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Kalamazoo.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
for real.
Yeah,
it's a real
that's for real.
place. It's a real
Uh-huh.
place. City of about 100,000. So smaller city, but man, I had an amazing upbringing.
Awesome.
Single parent household. So so I'll say that I grew up a little fast because I had to learn on my own in some areas, but I had a real good support system of family members and mentors around me. And so
Awesome.
I had a good man. I love my childhood. Now that I look
Yeah.
back on it. So yeah, man.
Yeah. What kind of things were you into as a child? A
Okay,
young
so
Cornelius.
yeah, so for everybody, when you throw your age out there, they can kind of know what was going on at the time. So I'm 50.
Okay.
So
You look like
so
a
as a
young
kid,
man.
yeah, man, berries and juices. They say, take care of yourself and take care of you.
That's right. That's right.
They say black don't crack, and I'm like, yeah, it do.
Yeah,
It
a little
do.
bit.
You better take
The,
care
the
of it.
berries and juices.
Yeah, y'all remember that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
no, man, I remember, man, like, man, playing outside, bro. Like, we played outside when we had to. Like, you couldn't even be in the house. Like, if you
Yeah.
was in the
Yeah.
house, they made you do something. So, like, I
Hmm.
was, we watched cartoons on Saturday mornings, man.
Hmm.
Just, we had family gatherings and family
Hmm.
reunions, and, it's just a good upbringing, man. So, those are the
Yeah.
kind of things that, I was a little young hustler, man. I was, selling candy and doing all kind of things to raking yards because
Yeah.
I always wanted to have my own money, and so
Hmm.
couldn't really go to mom and say, "Hey, mom, these shoes over here is
Hmm.
$50. Can you go
Yeah.
cop them for me?" She's like, "Nah,
Yeah.
we don't
Hmm.
have it." So I had to
Hmm.
learn that very young. So man, I'm really thankful for my upbringing, for
Yeah,
real.
I just want to let me ask you guys in the community a question. Just speaking of being outside in the
Hmm.
summer, did it seem like it was as hot back then as it is now? Like you could go outside back when you were younger, and you go outside and play a couple hours. You come in the house and get some Kool-Aid or whatever, some water, or
Hmm.
drink some water from the, as they say, the spigot, off the side of the house. But man, does it, what do y'all think as far as the temperatures nowadays,
It's
summertime
definitely
compared
hotter.
to, yeah, is this like
It's
global
definitely
warming a
hotter.
real
And
thing?
when he said that he had to go outside, that sparked a memory in me because I remember as soon as we hear that vacuum going, we better get outside or else we gonna get a job.
Yeah,
We about
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
get a
yeah,
task to do. I don't want to be no
yeah,
parts of dusting the furniture or
yeah,
vacuum or
and
nothing. I'm going outside.
yeah, and as we digress, let me give my mom a shout out because when we
Yeah.
were home over the summer out of school, she somehow came up with a list of stuff for us to do every day. My
Hmm.
mom's on here; she'll vouch. And I
Yeah.
used to be thinking, how she finds so many tasks for us to do every day? Is like, but it just kept us occupied, and
Yeah.
it kept you. You know what I'm saying? If you're not occupied, you have more potential to get into some mischief. So I
Yeah.
understand,
Hmm.
yeah, my sister Faith. Faith, how did mom find so many things? A whole list. She be out the door before we wake up. When we wake up, we gotta have this list complete before she get home. And I don't know how many times she been on her way home and we washing them dishes right quick.
Man,
You better have it done. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, but it
listen.
does, just to tie it all together. It seems like it is hotter though,
Yeah.
nowadays than it used to be. Or maybe we just older, we can't take that heat on us for such
Might
long
be
periods
that.
of time. Yeah.
It
Yeah,
might be that.
yeah,
It might be
yeah.
that for
Yeah.
sure. So,
Yeah.
Cornelius, did you have any siblings or were you only child?
No, so I have one brother with my mom, and then I have
Hmm.
my father had a brother. So I
Okay.
guess I say two. I have two brothers. Yeah,
Okay.
my brother
Yeah.
was.
Cool.
They're both like 5 to 10 years younger than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I found myself, obviously, like I said, single parent household. My younger
Hmm.
Hmm.
brother that was in the house, I was pretty much taking care of him.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So there was a sense of responsibility of growing up a little bit too fast, having to take care of others. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Faith says that yeah, you would play all day and then do the work right before she come home. That's
Yeah.
what y'all
Yeah.
did.
Get it.
That's
We
what y'all did.
timing it, man.
Get that
Get
list
that
done.
list. Yeah.
Yo, I do
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
now. I do that. I do that now.
Before the wife comes
Be
home.
like, oh, she on the way? I look like I've been cleaning all day, man.
Yeah. 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 That's how it happens, man. You gotta. It's all
Hey,
about
hey,
balance.
hey, I like that, man. Like so I set alarms for everything, right? But what you
Mm.
just said is so key. Like I get some of that Fabioso and put it right by the front door and wipe it around the porch.
Smell.
Somebody walk in and be like, "Oh, it's all
Yeah.
clean and smell good in here." So yeah,
Oh,
I
he
feel
been
you on that.
cleaning
Yeah.
all day. Like, nope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Them
Yeah. We
dishes,
got
them
our
dishes
little.
still be wet.
no doubt.
In the trainer board. In the trainer
Yeah.
board. Well, Cornelius, when you into any sports or anything like that coming up through school, any music or any what were some of your extracurriculars?
Yeah, it was sports. I wasn't. I mean, I obviously listen to music. That's a part of our culture. But
Hmm.
as sports, man, that's all we did. Like it was whether it was football at the park.
Yeah.
Uh, Basketball was my favorite sport. We played
Hmm.
baseball. Like I had a neighbor who we went to his house when I was younger, and y'all know this. We could go anywhere. Like I get on my bike and I could ride. It
Hmm.
didn't matter where we went. We didn't have access to cell phones. Mom did not know where I was. As long as and y'all know this, as long as I was home when the street lights came
Right.
on, we was good.
Right.
But I had a
Hmm.
friend who their backyard was connected to about five of the neighbors.
Oh
And so
wow.
we used the backyard. That was our football field. That was our
Hmm.
baseball field. And then there and a couple
Wow.
of neighbors. So we'd all the neighborhood kids would just go there, man, and we'd be there all day. Like you said,
Yeah.
we had water with the spigot, and then
Yeah.
you know we really didn't worry about food. Like it was just like we was out
Yeah.
there. So
Yeah.
yeah, man,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
That's awesome,
huge
man.
basketball fan, man, and a lot of life lessons for me came from the sports that I played in. So
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, same. Being in, I think being involved in sports, whether recreationally or organized, it teaches you certain skills that you can that translate within life, as far as interacting, working as a team, identifying who maybe have leadership or not, things like that. So I think sports definitely give you some things that you can that translate over into real life and discipline, which we're going to get into. We're going to
Yeah,
get into
sure.
that,
Yeah.
man. We're going to get into that for sure.
So at
Go
what
ahead.
point, I know you're in the Raleigh area now. At what
so
point
so
did that move happen from Michigan?
yeah, so I moved to Raleigh in 2009,
Okay.
Okay.
and I've been here ever since. It was one of the best things that ever happened to me. As y'all know, it's very difficult to be successful in your home city. You know,
Mm,
people know you for what they thought you were, and then when you try to do something else or put on the hat on, they don't always support in that way. So I
Right.
always tell young kids, travel, venture out, move away. You can always go back. But moving to Raleigh was one of the best things ever. I moved here, man, and people can recognize this. My son he was young, he was 16 at the time, and he was just getting into a lot of stuff, man. And he needed a new start. So we
Okay.
came down here, man, and it's been all love ever since.
Yeah.
I actually live in Clayton now, which is the
Yeah.
third
yeah.
largest growing city in North Carolina right now. You mentioned Smithfield. I was
Yeah,
just
I was
driving.
about to say I saw all them signs last
Yeah,
week and so many weeks playing music, riding up 85, all of them towns,
yeah,
Clayton, Selma. Shout out to
yeah,
Crystal again. Man, Smithville is so many. Cary, it's so
yeah,
many of those towns.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
yeah,
Hub that I guess Raleigh is the hub for.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
gotta check in real quick on the
Yeah, let's check
Facebook
in.
group because I can't see those immediately, but I see now when we were talking about Fabuloso. Juan says that's his middle name, Fabuloso. Juan Babyface Fabuloso asked
Fabuloso. Yeah, he got so
Shout
many
out to Juan.
names. Yeah, man.
Shout out to
Hey, that
Juan.
Fabuloso is good stuff, though. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Yeah,
still that's
dilute it a little bit and
yeah.
do all your cleaning and wiping down. Smells great.
Yeah.
And Fabuloso, you can cut us the check if any of your owners or HR
Come on with it.
happen to see this. Yeah, yeah. Get
Come
in
on
touch
with
with
it.
either Famous or I, and we can further
Yeah.
proceed.
We're trying to own it, like you said in the top. We're trying
Yeah,
to own
yeah.
it.
Trying to own it.
So Cornelius, most of our group is going to be consist of entrepreneurs, business owners, people just like you talked about hustling early with the candy sales and stuff like that. Tell us
Yeah.
some of your, what inspired that spirit in you from a young age, and what were some of the other hustles and jobs that you had even before what you do now?
Yeah. So great question. I think that it was inspired by a lack.
Mm.
Y'all know this.
Hmm.
You grow up in the culture and you don't got the right shoes on, or you don't
Yeah.
got the right clothes on, or you don't got the
Yeah.
right car. You really don't get to play you want. So
Hmm.
like at a young age, I had to have it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where and a second part, more important and near and dear to my heart, was I wanted to take some of the pressure off my mom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, I realized that she was doing a lot, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to ask her for anything extra
Right.
when I could go get it myself, and
Right.
Yeah.
that's where that inspired from. As we grow up and talk about from a grown age, man, I went the corporate route, and I noticed, I did well, man. I don't have a college degree. I went
Oh
into
wow.
sales
Okay.
because that was the quickest way to turn and make some
Mm-hmm.
serious money. And I went into leadership in that and really started to, make over six figures and had a house and
Wow.
the cars and all that stuff. But what I
Mm-hmm.
realized was I looked at the people who had been in that position before me, and I
Mm-hmm.
looked at their lifestyle, and it was a little bit better than mine, but not enough. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, yo, and I realized this company was taking on my ideas because I'm very creative. I see things a little different, and
Mm-hmm.
and they were taking them and using them and not paying me for
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm.
Hmm.
I don't get down like that. So I
Yeah.
had to
Yeah.
Typical,
start
typical
figuring out.
corporate stuff.
Yeah, I'm not asking them to give me 100% equity in the company, but I'm saying like, yo, you got
Mm.
you got to give me something.
Little
Uh,
bonus, perhaps,
what
right?
Denzel say? I'm leaving here with something.
Yeah.
But so that was what really prepared me to say I walked away from that, man, and
Mm.
I was thankful for what they taught me, but I walked away. I said, I'm gonna do something else. Start volunteering, doing
Mm-hmm.
things that was in my purpose, and kind of started from there. And then
Hmm.
got connected with some good people, and I'm where I'm at now. So
Yeah.
Mm.
it's just taking that. It was a risk, but it was
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah.
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 So on the just to that timeline, from the time that you really started to have those feelings of I might need to start doing something else to the point of you actually doing it, how
Mm.
much time would you say involved before you actually said, "All right, this is time for me to do my own thing"?
Yeah, so it was probably a couple of years.
Okay.
Mm.
And I say that because obviously we all know this. When you have a family and you got people
Right.
counting on you, you can't
You
just
can't
jump off
just.
the boat. You can't just jump out on your own. You need to.
Right.
And I didn't even do it. I didn't even do it perfectly. And I know
Mm.
that's not a thing, but you got to have a plan in place. You might want to
Yeah.
have some reserves. You also might want to stay working in your spot
Yeah.
Yeah.
and build
And
and
build.
build and build and just
Yeah.
and that takes again that takes some discipline,
Yeah.
some wisdom. Now that I look back on it, I would have done things a little bit different. But hey,
Okay.
we here now, so it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, that's interesting, man. Because like you said, especially when you got other folks, other family members, some kids, and relying on that income that you already expecting, you have to be wise and almost take baby steps and make gradual I guess transition, until you're full time into what it is that you totally desire to do
Yeah,
that. So that's very, very wise. Very
yeah.
Yeah.
wise. Yeah.
And what was your initial plan? Like, what did you have something in mind that you wanted to be doing when you were getting ready to make that leap?
Yeah. So the biggest thing on my heart has been and still
Hmm.
is mentoring, speaking with kids. It's
Sure.
always been the younger generation, man.
Hmm.
It's always been about kids who are probably going through some of the things that I went through at that age,
Mm.
and realizing that these kids are super talented, but they
Yeah.
don't always have a support system with a community around them that can
Hmm.
encourage and empower them and inspire them to go out there and do different things. And a lot of them,
Hmm.
you mentioned prison ministry, and it's a lot of men are in prison that wouldn't be there if they had the proper support.
Yeah.
That's
These
true.
aren't everybody. There is not like, they might have committed a crime,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
they're not all criminals. They just
Right.
got
Right.
they didn't have the proper support. So
Some people
that's
made
always
mistakes.
yeah, bro. I could have man. I did things where I could have been in prison. I just didn't
Hmm.
get caught, and that was at a younger
Exactly.
age. But
Right.
so
Right.
I have a serious compassion for people like that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I meet with a lot of guys, man, working in the chapel at the prison, and the guys that come in there, and I mean, this guy's that's our age, 50 years old, that's been there since they were 17, for something they did when they were
Mm.
17, and I'm just like, dude, this is ridiculous. Like I can
Hmm.
see this guy's heart. I can see he is not that person, but he's been there since he's 17 years old, just because
Hmm.
he just didn't have, just one mistake, didn't have the, someone like you or someone like us, talking to him at that age, and that one
Yeah.
thing got him in there for forever now.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I was just gonna add on too, because a lot of times when you don't have the support of say family or church or just good individuals around you, then you kind of more susceptible to gravitate toward others who are doing anything, and just for that acceptance, you may just go along with the program
Yeah,
of those others who don't mean you any good. And as my mother would say, hey, everybody ain't your friend. You know what I mean?
that's true.
Everybody ain't your friend. And so some of these people you can potentially end up following, being in the crowd with, you end up making a mistake, and you end up having to pay for that mistake. As Famous is saying, a guy be 50 years old and he's been there since he was 17. So that's great that you're catching them while they're young. And as Whitney Houston said, I believe that children are the future. Teach them well, and let them lead the way.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's important. It's important to get them while they're young, man. That's when you catch that cornerstone of that foundation, so to speak, and can curb and deflect some of these negative attractions that are out there in the world day to day. You just have to be aware of them and know how to avoid them, the pitfalls and things like that of life. So that's
yeah.
fantastic. Fantastic.
It
Yeah.
is. It is for sure. And
Hmm.
I think I picked up on something. If I'm understanding this correctly, you started, doing volunteer type work, and I mean this. Just the thought process can translate to different, whatever your passion is, whatever your ideas are. You're building something from the ground up when you do it that way. Like you started
Yeah.
just finding out who you can volunteer with, who you could help out, who you can shadow, and then start building it up from there. Is that pretty much what the
Hmm.
process was like for you?
Yeah, that's perfect how you said that. I want people think they don't realize that if I get in the bit like listen, if I get in the building and I'm volunteering, I'm also doing recon on what to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm serving, but I'm also like, yo, I wouldn't do it that way, or that's not somebody I would rock with, or so I'm getting all that knowledge while I'm there. And
Right.
it's not costing me anything. I haven't invested anything other than my time.
Right.
So I'm not making those mistakes. So I did that in probably 7 or 8 different places,
Mm.
learning what I needed to learn and finding out who I wanted to mentor and building those. Now, this is very important. Building those deep relationships and connections with people who can help me.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that there's some people out here that can really, give you game. And I
Yeah.
don't want to be stepping on landmines that I don't need to. And I can just
Right.
ask one of you guys, how do you
Yeah.
do this? And so I humble
Yeah.
myself that way. And there's no bad questions. So
Yeah, yeah. And no man can survive on an island by himself. It takes a team and a network of people, and that's what why we started our community here. Even though we may be from different backgrounds or involved in different industries, but the power of networking, man, is nothing that you can compare it to, as far as that can help we can help pull each other along with our ideas and things, that our purpose and our businesses and all of those things. So
well,
yeah,
and
I agree.
let's not let me say something about that. Let's not zoom by that because I
Okay.
think that especially from some of the communities we're from,
Hmm.
that one thing, that collaboration, that
Yeah.
people don't realize the synergy or the energy it multiplies when you collaborate. So if I got to
Hmm.
build something myself, there's some things I'm just not good at. But if y'all are
Hmm.
great at it, let me get out the way. Here, y'all do this. I'm gonna do what I'm great at, and we build together. Now, don't get me wrong. We have to have our minds have to be in the same area. Our hearts have to be in the same area.
Right. Right.
You must have. I'm really big on integrity and character. You
Mm.
must have integrity and character because I'm not
Yeah.
allowing you to mess up my name or my brand. However, if
Hmm.
you have those things, let's work together. and let's build
Yeah.
together. We live in an abundant world, so there's enough for us all to eat. So
Yeah. Yeah. And as we say sometimes here, what is it famous? Community over
Over
competition, right?
competition, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
community over competition.
Yeah.
It's a lot of times easier said than done when others don't have that same perspective. They think some people may think just because I'm a DJ and he's a DJ that we got to be eating at the, but it's not. I don't. We just don't see it that way. There's enough. There's 52 Saturdays in a year, man. I'm not doing all 52 of them. I got to work on Friday sometimes. So we're gonna be. It's enough for everybody, and it's getting out of that mindset that we have to be competitors just because we're in operating in the same lane. But you know what? I want black eyed peas and you want kidney beans.
Yeah, yeah, and I've often said too, like we say each of us have a pie, and instead of us holding our one little pie so close to the chest and not sharing it, but you let some more people make some more pie. If you got a pie, you got a pie, I got a pie,
Yeah.
and we all can eat. You
Yeah.
know what I
well,
mean?
that's one of my favorite sayings when you talk about the pie. To me, the biggest goal is to make the pie bigger. The bigger the pie
Yeah.
gets, the bigger my slice gets. Right?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like it,
Yeah.
but again, you got to have the heart. If a person has a scarcity mindset, they really believe, or they grew up in survival mode, all those things, they don't. They just sometimes don't see it that way.
Yeah,
So-
because I could run out of pie, and I might need to reach over and say, "Excuse me, can I
Hey,
get
you
a
gonna
slice?"
finish that? You gonna finish that?
I ran out, but then yeah, go ahead.
You remind me of a story, and it was man, I know you know these guys. Like, it's like Jeremy Anderson, and it was like about 7 or 8 other speakers, and these guys all take care of each other in the community. But one guy was like, "Yo, I fell off," and the group put him back on. So everybody reached in their pocket and let's just say gave him 20,000. Now he back at 100,000 because the collective, and see, and that's really important when we talk about men. Y'all know we compete.
Yeah.
And yo, like I don't have a problem reaching out and saying, "Hey, look, there's this gig over here. Either I can't do it, or I don't want to do it. Here, you go over there and get that money. You go over there and get that." So
Yep. Yeah, nah, it's
Yeah,
great,
there
man.
should be more of that. There should be more of that for sure. But I know what you
Yeah.
mean by with us men. We don't. We're gonna try and squeeze it.
Yeah.
I don't want
yeah.
him to get it, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this thing and be unhappy doing it just because I don't want somebody else to get it.
And shout out to my brother real quick, Matt. I see
Yeah.
you. Smooth sales in the house. Shout out to
What
my
up,
brother.
Matthew? Good to see you. Rhonda's
Yeah.
on the YouTube now.
Yeah, Rhonda, thank
Watch
you
it
for
on
holding it
YouTube.
down. Rhonda's
Absolutely,
one of
she
our
agrees.
biggest ambassadors of the community.
Yeah, absolutely.
A legend in the game. And I always gotta tell people this. Rhonda has been in the music industry since she was in college. She started out in the early days of Motown, and she still works with a lot of your favorite artists today, as far as whether managing them, helping them get their publishing, clearing samples, things like that. So we always got to give her the biggest of props for coming and hanging out with this wonderful person. And we thank you.
Don't get her talk about Drake though, cause she
Yeah.
not like
Yeah.
Drake. She's
Nah,
not,
not a
rolling
Drake
with Drake.
Yeah. Well, she gave us a little game when she was on our show here, and something that I didn't know about Drake, but she told us here, so I guess I can repeat it. If he's involved in winning a Grammy, you know how the engineers and co-writers and everybody else is supposed to also get an award. He doesn't do that. So that in the essence of I guess music integrity and all of the individuals that are involved in making a certain song a success, he keeps all the accolades for himself, which I understand where Ron is coming from, because you want to be able to reward and let everybody else who contributed take part in the celebratory process, and they want something to put on their wall or their mantle.
You already said it earlier. He can't. Drake can't do it. He can't be in the booth and an engineer and on stage. He can't do it. He can't be the guy loading the tour bus or the private jet he on.
It takes a team.
Man, listen, man. Take care of your team, bro.
Yeah,
I hear
that's
a lot
why-
of people in the industry don't do that, man. Take care
That's
of your
why-
people, man.
Yeah,
That's why
for
Kendrick
sure.
had to whop him right quick. Did
think
y'all see that concert?
I think Rhonda was in.
Pop Out?
I think Rhonda was in L.A. for that concert. That's probably why she was in L.A.
Nah, man, that was a
supporting
wonderful thing.
Kendrick.
and most importantly, not just the battle. And I'm gonna get off this in a second. He won't allow the gold records, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but more importantly than just the music, man, that concert, Kendrick brought unified.
Yeah.
Bloods, Crips, everybody else who may have had differences, and he was able to bring them all into one place. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching that concert. So
He's
you
a
know,
visionary, bro. He different.
yeah,
He different,
yeah.
man. He gets it. So, and that just shows you what can be done, man. When you got a vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man. So yeah, and we digress from time to
We
time
do.
if you
We
can't
do
tell.
this. We do. Had to make sure
Yeah,
Kendrick gave him a little bop. Gave him a
yeah,
little
yeah,
bop.
yeah. He did
That's
that.
right.
He did that.
Yeah, see, Rhonda said she loves Kendrick. I knew she was out there for that concert.
Yeah, she might have been there.
She
She
might
might
have
have
been.
been there.
So,
Yeah.
so Cornelius, we also, like I said at the top, we've really been talking a lot about mental health and how, as it pertains to entrepreneurs, business owners, people out there working for themselves, and how staying healthy physically and mentally could really,
Yeah.
play a big part in that. And like I said, you've been really inspiring. I see your stuff all the time, and I like how you inspire your audiences to keep going and keep moving. And I just wanted to get you to talk about how important that has been for you.
Yeah, it's been everything, man. So like when I talk about or think about success, which a lot of people don't really think about, hey, what does that mean? Like what does it mean to be successful? And usually when you ask somebody that, the first thing they think of is money. It
Yeah,
just
it's
is.
not always the
That's
case.
right. That's the way we've been programmed. And I get it.
Mm.
Money is a tool that we need, especially right now. It's expensive out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But but how sad is it that you get the bag, but you gotta give it all back because you gotta pay for your health? And so,
Mm.
and I know in the community, this is not something that was always championed, but it's so important to just take, like, you can do both. I can get money
Mm.
and I can take care of my health along the way in the same
Mm.
day. So when
Mm.
I was 27, a little story, when I was 27, they thought that I had a heart attack. And this is at a time, right now, I weigh about 208. Back then, I was about 275.
Mm.
And I wasn't working out. I was eating fast food 3 times a day.
Oh
And
wow.
I started to have heart problems to the point where they thought I had a heart attack. And I'm gonna tell
Mm.
you this: when they tell you your ticker is not right, you can't sleep. Like I literally didn't
Mm.
sleep for weeks. I just laid in my bed, like, yo, am I gonna die tonight?
Mm.
And that was where it kind of started for me. That was the seed of like, wait a minute, take better care of yourself. So I just started to little by little, to the point now where I really don't eat fast food. I mean,
Yeah.
it'd really take a bad situation where I would go into a McDonald's or something like that. And no
Mm.
shame to anybody who does, but it's
Right, right.
just
For
it's part of
yourself.
my, yeah, bro, for
Yeah.
my life and my one body that I get one of these joints right here.
One.
You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Like I can go buy another car anytime I want. Those are
Mm.
being made every day. Clothing, all these things. This house right here, like bro, this is the third house I've been in 5 years. Right?
Mm.
It doesn't matter. It just doesn't. This
Mhm.
body, this is what matters. So how do
Yeah.
I take care of that physically, spiritually, emotionally, in all those ways? So now there's no like right now I don't feel like I have an imbalance anymore because I'm
Mm.
taking all those buckets and I'm taking
Mhm.
care of my health. And so that's
Mhm.
something that, like, yo, that's the biggest compliment when somebody comes up and say, "Hey, bro, I see what you're doing with your health." I'm like, "Yeah, word, you see that?" You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It used to be
Yeah.
like, yo, like yo, I was driving a Challenger and a dude came up. He's like, "Man, I love that car." And I was like, "Dang, he ain't saying nothing about my health." You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like,
Mm.
so it's just a paradigm shift that I went through. That as a man, I think my goal is to make sure. I know my goal is to make sure my family sees a man modeling everything that it can be, especially when it comes to health and especially when it comes to mental health.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's great, man. That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah. And so as it pertains to with the focus on mental health, like are there certain angles you like to teach from, or does it depend on what people have been through? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
what's your focal points usually when you're mentoring and teaching people about the importance of mental health?
The first thing, man, and this is really important, is building a relationship with people.
Mm.
If they don't, like y'all know this, if I don't feel safe with you, bro. I ain't sharing nothing with you. I'm not
Right.
giving you none of my, the stuff I hold close. So
Yeah.
the biggest thing the biggest thing that I do is I'm authentic, bro. If you see me online and then you run
Mm-hmm.
into me in real life, there's
Same
not gonna
person.
be any difference. I'm the same dude. Like, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not putting on. I'm not. I don't need to do none of that. I'm good. So
Mm-hmm.
I think people realize they can feel that energy, and when a person feels safe, when they haven't felt safe in their life, they'll start to open up because,
Mm-hmm.
like, y'all notice there's an emotional toll that starts to happen when you don't open up and you don't
Oh
share
yeah.
this stuff. And so that's one of the biggest things that I do, man, is I build real authentic relationships where people feel
Okay.
safe.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, growing up in the church, it was like, you could pray this out, and yeah, that's a part of it. But but
Mm-hmm.
but you can do Jesus or whatever you believe in, and you
There's
can
still
do
a
therapy.
natural
Yeah,
element to it as
yeah.
well.
God
Mm-hmm.
made therapists go to therapy and have
Yeah,
those
I like
conversations,
it.
right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think there's something to be said about fitness and movement, just movement of your body, whether that's just a 30-minute walk. I've never taken a 30-minute walk and came home and be like, I feel worse, right?
Mm,
Just nature in general, just slowing
yeah.
down, all these things, that breath work.
Mm,
I'm always really meditating and breathing, and just, it
yeah.
might just be 5 minutes or even a
Yeah.
minute. You could be tired and not feel great. You could just
Uh-huh.
start doing deep breaths and you feel better.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I do that. I do that a lot. Like before a gig or before a show, we try to have a little quiet time to yourself. And just do some visualization and breathing, for a few minutes, to curb any little anxiety, And the thing about being a performer is people think, well, you don't get nervous, you still get
Hmm.
a little
Yeah.
anxiety,
Yeah.
but you have to know how to deal with it, but to get the anxiety, it to me is a good thing because it means you care about, your
Hmm.
performance, but you have to know what to do with it to
Yeah,
make it work for you, kind of thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Every time I've been on the stage, I've always got the butterflies in my stomach,
Yeah.
and it is because, man, when I'm walking out here, what I'm talking about can be life changing.
Yeah.
So I really do care about what I'm
Hmm.
saying. I'm not, a lot of people go out there and they don't care. They just,
Yeah.
they're just out there. But man, I really
Yeah.
care about this, man. I care about people, and I really understand the ripple effect that our words and actions can have on others. And so,
Right.
I don't just say anything. Like, what I say,
Right.
I mean. I've thought this out. This ain't just coming out
Yeah.
of my mouth to impress other people, because I know
Yeah.
there's lives on the line, man. So
Yeah.
when it comes
Yeah.
to mental health and emotions, I'm glad that I see more entertainers, more famous people talking about this stuff, because we all know that, little old me can say it, and
Oh yeah.
I can say the same thing Kendrick says, but when Kendrick
Yeah.
says it, it becomes the
Yeah.
thing. So
The
I'm glad
louder
that allows.
voices.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
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 man.
that's
That's
good, man,
great.
and it's really important, like you said, to be passionate about whatever it is, because you care that much that it makes you nervous. It gives you those butterflies. I tell
Hmm.
people all the time, like what Midas said, like 5 minutes before a wedding ceremony, my phone starts going off because my heart rate goes up every
Mm,
time. It
mm.
never fails. Every Saturday,
That's
well,
great.
my heart rate
Yeah.
went up, because I
Yeah.
get a little bit nervous right before a wedding
Revving up.
starts, because it's
Hmm.
somebody's special one-time moment, and I might mess it up, So that makes me nervous because I
Hmm.
care that much,
You care. You're not gonna mess it up though. You
But I
just
still
care.
feel that. Yeah, I still feel that way.
Yeah, man. But
It
it, but it,
goes
mo-
on.
like we said, most importantly though is knowing how to deal with it.
Knowing how to deal with it.
Visualization. You can always visualize yourself uh, doing the task that's at hand, as well as breathing techniques, and just like with like public speaking. Like even I told my son he had to get up in front. He was the master of ceremony. He just turned 11, but he was the master of ceremony for his end of the year uh end of the year commencement for his grade, and so he volunteered to narrate and everything, and he was nervous about it, and when I was driving him there, so I had him breathing to take your time, and then they used to teach us too, you can tense up your hands and feet or whatever a little bit, then relax it, and along with the breathing. So I was glad I could give him a couple of pointers that I may or may not use, to help him
Yeah,
get through his situation. So yeah.
yeah.
So you taking me back, man, because, like, I remember we were in elementary, man, and we had to do those book reports in front of the class.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Nah, I'm not getting up there.
You,
No, every
you,
every I swear until high school. Every year I just got sick when it was my turn. And I had too much anxiety around getting up there and what people thought of me when I got up there. And so, and I love that you brought that up because
Okay.
public speaking is one of the biggest fears in the world.
Yeah, it is.
And so then you really think about why. What am I afraid of? That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Well, I'm afraid of what they're gonna think about what I say.
Mm-hmm.
So overcoming that's very powerful. And
Yeah.
because communication is very powerful. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, and also you're used to coexisting more so in group settings, right? But it's a little different when you got to single out and face the group and address them and be the only one that's talking, and everybody.
Yeah.
It's a little different. It's a little different dynamic that's involved with the public speaking, and we do it every week on here.
Yeah.
And I've gotten used to it now, but you still go through that little wave of anxiety as you're getting dressed and turning your computer on, but once I sit down and I get to talk to Famous and I guess come on and we get to have
Get
a
that
little
Jadakiss
That's why we
song.
like to, yeah, that's why we like to get on a little, a little bit before it's time to air because it breaks the ice amongst us who have to be on the screen. So that's our little method, and that little secret sauce. That's free 99 for y'all. They gonna charge you too much, yeah, man.
Yeah.
But you also Cornelius, you spoke about like the element of discipline, especially for men, but I guess it would apply to women as well. Like, you want to transition into speaking about that?
Yeah, I would love to. So as I thought back, man, I'm really big now on journaling. Like if you can't see where I'm sitting, but I got like 3 or 4 of my journals right here, and I sit a lot and I reflect on either my day, but even going back to my whole life, man, and especially the things that I feel like I could have avoided. So, you know what? The center of all of those things has been a lack of self control or discipline. Me
Really?
as a man, it wasn't like there's been some outside forces, sure, but about 95%, it was me. And so I committed a couple of years ago to two things, a year ago actually, to two things. Number one, being in full integrity. So I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm not going to lie to me, and I will be known as a disciplined man. So the things that we continue to see, and this is for men and women. I don't like to speak on. I don't like to say what women should do because I've never been a woman. So
I got you.
I try to.
Well, can we say we just make some friendly suggestions, some soft suggestions? Okay.
We just throw it out, alley oop it out there. They slam it, it's good. But I don't like to speak on. But it works for both genders. Look, man, if like I don't want to make the same mistakes. So am I disciplined with my money? Yep. Am I disciplined with what I eat? Am I disciplined with the people I surround myself? Simple things like my bedtime. Like, yo, what time do you go to bed? What time do you get up? And I don't really feel like I want people to be able to say, I know somebody who's disciplined. And it's not, I'm not perfect. I'm still practicing. All this is about, I'm practicing. Like Ellen Iverson said, we talking about practice.
Yeah, practice. We said that.
That was last week's episode. Practice.
We talked about practicing last week.
Yeah.
Look, people don't realize there's a lot of people out here that act like gurus and they have a perfect life. They don't.
Yeah.
They are just like us. They may be a little bit better in certain areas, but they're practicing. They still go through some of the same downs and valleys that we all go through. They just might have resources to take care of it. That's the biggest difference. But I'm just practicing. But I want to be known, so that's where the product of discipline came from. On the back of the shirt, it says "Discipline wins." I just got home from the gym, so every time I walk in there, I'm a walking billboard, and that's what I want to be known as. But I want to also help other men become more disciplined because an undisciplined man or woman cannot be successful over a long period of time. They can't.
Very true. Yeah. And even if you got a PhD behind your name, you're still practicing medicine.
Still practicing.
Still practicing. That's for sure.
Life, can we all agree? Isn't life just one big practice? Every day we got to show up because, like, I might have 50 points yesterday. When we come in life, but today I got to show up and score again. So it's just about, and so it's just a big practice, man. That's why I try to stay. I stay here. I'm not better than anybody else. I'm not worse than anybody else. I'm just trying to get 1% better every day in my personal life. And I feel like if I do that, those around me are gonna get better too. So that's just the way I live my life.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely very inspiring, man. And I'm gonna ask everyone to follow you. Miss Francis said that she's journaled her entire life as
Oh
well.
yeah, yeah, I can
Yeah.
So,
vouch
so,
for that. And
so,
she's working
so
on a book too.
this your mom's, right?
Yeah, that's my mother.
Hey, mom. So I love that she said that because I used to wouldn't journal because they were called diaries.
Yeah.
I ain't got no diary. I ain't doing
Yeah.
that. But as I got older, I started to
Journal.
write. I journal, bro. I don't diary. But like,
Mhm.
I started to realize how powerful putting words on paper is
Hmm.
to get it out of my head. Because I don't talk about this, but I do coaching and I coach under limiting beliefs. And so many of us just have all these stories in our heads. And once you get it on paper and you write it out and you look at it and be like, yo, this is really silly. Like, why do I
Mhm.
believe this? This is actually something that somebody said to me in third or fourth grade, and I'm still letting it
Mhm.
live in my head. And so
Mhm.
journaling is so important.
So
Yeah,
let me,
yeah.
and there's a lot of tools out there now to help us get started. Like I have a thing on my phone telling me every day, hey, you should, it knows I was at 40 Acre Rock, journal about 40 Acre Rock. If I've never done it, if I've never journaled, because just like the reasons you said, it seemed corny or it seemed like a diary or whatever, right? And now I want to get started, but I haven't really practiced that yet. What's a good starting place, entry one?
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, it's different for every person, but right here, I just got regular line paper that you buy at the
Yeah.
dollar. This is from the dollar store.
Loose
It's not.
leaf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cheap. If I mess it up, I just toss it out. I
Yeah.
just put it in front of me, and I just think about topics. I come up with topics, whatever that is today,
Yeah.
whether it's good, bad, or ugly, and then I just jot. I don't even journal where it got to be a sentence. I just on one side, like for instance, I was watching a podcast and I was writing down what the gentleman was talking about, but on the other side, I always put words because words matter. And like for two word, he wrote the word majestic, and so I just write that way. I think everybody has to journal different depending on what they want their life to look like. Now, for me, I'll share mine.
Mhm.
I feel like I'm living a movie, and I'm the main character.
Okay.
And my journaling is my script. And
Mm.
so I script out my life from the end. I go to the end of what I want it to look like, and then I engineer it for today. And so so then when I go out into my day, I'm just that character. And so,
Mm.
for instance, we talked about health. So then guess what I'm
Uh-huh.
doing? I'm just doing what a healthy character would do.
Yeah.
And when you do that every day over a long period of time, guess what
The
happens?
lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. So
Yeah.
now people are like, man, how do you stay motivated? I don't. I don't even love that word, right? I just changed my entire identity to that of what I want my life to look like. So now I can show up as that person.
Yeah. And you're just writing the script as you go
I'm
along.
just right. Yeah. And so for people who may be struggling with things in their life that they don't like, yo,
Yeah.
like, look, I just do this. Like, just take the script that write it down, the script you don't like,
And toss it.
and rewrite the script. And it's not going to happen overnight. You know, people want it overnight. But just listen a little bit every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and I was just gonna add on too, if there's certain goals or things that you're trying to achieve, it helps to write those down too. Even if you got a whiteboard, I got a whiteboard in my kitchen. I write certain things down. Even if I'm walking in the kitchen, I may not look at it directly, but my subconscious will still catch it,
So
and
good.
it
So good.
gets embedded in my brain.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
got a
That's
couple
great.
comments in on the Facebook
Okay.
group side too. Juan says that his heart rate goes up when the boss lady calls him to her to her office. So yeah, I know Juan. I just saw my boss lady walking in the kitchen just now, so my heart rate went up too.
Is that your
So,
phone beeping?
yeah, and also he's talking about just coming back from the gym. He feels renewed and mentally strong when he comes back from the
Yeah,
gym as well. And shout
yeah.
out to Robert Moore. I see Juan tagged Robert in this post. He wanted
Oh,
Robert to see
Robert's
it because
on.
Robert's no, he's not on, but Juan
Okay.
tagged him. And
Okay.
Juan is also a really big mental health advocate. I actually saw Robert yesterday at the prison ministry as well. So
All right, cool,
shout out to
cool.
Robert. He'll be watching the replay. And
Yeah.
James Masters says we can get into an in-depth conversation about how our words affects kids, adults, and life in general, and what mental health in others who don't take care of themselves. So yeah, this is very inspiring
Yeah.
conversation for everyone, man.
Yeah.
Kirk, I know you were talking about other people, how you're helping others, and how would someone get in contact with you, for mentoring, for wellness coaching?
Yeah. So obviously, I'm on all of the all the social platforms.
Yeah.
I'm just about to put a website up. You know, what's funny is I never had a website, and
Mm,
people don't really realize that you can get out here and you can build a brand. You can build you can get quiet money.
mm.
You know, I'm really in the
That's the best
chapter,
kind.
bro.
I'm working
I'm
on
in
it.
I'm in a chapter where it's quiet, and people
Yeah,
don't realize that like that's kind of a win. Like when you can go places, nobody bugs you,
Yeah.
money coming in, you got a peace of mind. I didn't realize how valuable that was when I was younger. Now it's everything, and so
yeah,
yeah. But all the social media platforms, man, they can reach out to me. I always get back to people, and again, I need the bread, but it's not all about that. Like I really feel like we're all about community. We're all connected, and
yeah.
if I can help somebody get on the right path, man, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And they
can
just follow
attest to
you
that.
as they just follow you as your name is presented on the screen, Cornelius Kirk,
Yeah, yeah.
on all socials. I
Follow
followed you
him.
on Facebook
Follow him
yesterday.
for sure on
And,
Facebook and
and one thing,
Instagram.
hey man, and I comment like I don't like
Yeah.
yo. If you write me, I write you back.
Yeah.
Like it's really me, and I don't just say yes, hi. You know, I really give you what I'm feeling. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
That's
always
to be committed.
some really inspiring stuff, man. I can see it like in the morning, like first thing in the morning. You know, a lot of times the first thing we do, one of the first things we do is go to that phone, right? But when you go in and see something inspiring, like what Cornelius posts, I feel like he's like Reverend Run sitting in the
Yeah.
tub
Okay.
doing his
Yeah.
words of wisdom. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
Cornelius got it going, man. It's
Yeah.
very like just to see it first thing in the morning, or even you'll ask certain questions to kind of get people's opinions and engaging conversations going around mental health, around financial health. I know that's another big one that you love to talk about. I'm gonna give you a couple minutes. We're gonna go overtime today. Go ahead.
no, that man. Listen, so people don't really realize that's good, man. But it's all connected. So when my money's not right, and I
Yeah.
feel tense
Yeah.
about it, right? Y'all know this. My money's
Yeah.
not
Ain't
right.
nothing right. A broke
Ain't
man
nothing,
can't be happy.
nothing right.
It's hard
But
for
then
a
I,
broke man to be happy.
bro, you can't be happy, and the people around you not gonna be happy because we
Uh,
ain't eating.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's become important to be financially literate,
Yeah.
Right.
even with a little bit of money. Because whatever you do with
Right.
a dollar, you're gonna do with a million.
That's
You
right.
get
Macro,
you gonna do
micro.
it's your habits. It's the same stuff. So like I realized that, man. So now like it's funny. I just went to Walmart and bought some jeans. Now, first of all, the old me would have never done that. I'm not buying no jeans at Walmart. These jeans have
Yeah.
to be a certain brand. But
Right.
first of all, I don't, and they were $10, and I like them. You know
Mhm.
what? I don't care what anybody else
Nope.
thinks,
Nope.
right? And so now the money that I did not spend, I can put that into other things that create assets for me. And that's one thing that I'm not like I want a new car, but I'm not going to buy it until I create an asset that makes me money that I can buy the car from. I'm not buying the car with my money. I'm buying it with somebody else's. And so these are all things that we never really talked about. I want to change the conversation with kids to from, who's your top five rapper or who's your top five NBA player to doors and acres. Like, yo, how many doors do you own? Which, what I mean by that, how many homes do you own? Or how much land? Oh, you got 100 acres? My family, we got 200 acres.
Nice.
What happens when we start changing the conversation of narrative with young kids? Oh, bro, like the first thing I do when I go to college, I had college friends who, when I'm living in the dorms, they bought a house and they rented out the 4 bedrooms for 4 years, and
Wow.
then they making money while they on campus in that home, getting paid. The home's paying for itself. Then when they graduated, they sold it, got the equity, and then bought their first home wherever they moved.
That's
That's
brilliant.
game, but we don't see, we don't hear none of that. So
Yeah.
again, I'm really big on financial literacy for all the way around, and it doesn't have to be. You don't have to have. It's not about having a lot of money. It's really centered again around discipline of your habits.
Yeah, yeah, that's very
Yeah.
important. I love it when I love it on your post when you get into that sort of financial talk and ownership and stuff. Because my wife and I, we got on that Dave Ramsey a couple years ago. So now,
Dave Ramsey.
now
Yeah,
the
yeah.
stuff that you're saying, it makes a whole lot more sense because I can see it. I've benefited from it. I've done it. I've gone through the process, the discipline that you talk about, and it's very important to for us to have that type of voice as well.
Yeah.
To be
So,
able to speak to our community about it.
yeah, and not everybody loves Dave for all the reasons, but he's helping a lot of people get out of debt,
Yeah.
and debt has some again debt. It has something to do with a lot of people's mental health, and so. But if you don't change your habits, like you just do the same thing over and over,
Yeah.
you never get out of it, man. And inflation is happening to a point now where inflation's going up, but the pay at my job is not. That
Yeah.
some ownership, we don't talk about that enough.
Yeah.
I can buy a home, then I can take money out of the home and equity and buy a second home, and then do that process over and over and over. And I see people doing it, and I'm like, yo, this is how they getting rich quietly.
Yeah,
So that's why I call
quietly.
when I said quiet money.
Yeah.
I'm around people now because I'm getting in rooms now, and just like this is the biggest thing. When you get in a room and you around people who are better than you or have more money than you or experience, shut up and just
Yeah.
be a sponge. I'm not getting in here
quiet,
trying to
not
tell
the
these people, oh,
Nah.
I'm the man. I know that.
Yeah.
I'm over there just like this.
Yeah.
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 I'm writing down notes because I want to get better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's the best thing to do too if you want to stay in the room sometimes, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? Get in the room and just, be quiet. Like
quiet.
Cornelius said. Hey Marissa.
Hey,
Yeah,
Melissa,
thank
thanks
you.
for
That's one
joining
of our
us.
she's out representing Canada out there. Appreciate you
love Canada.
joining us today. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the best thing you can do sometimes if you're around some others who are a little more well to do than yourself. Just
Yeah.
observe, play
Be
your
a sponge.
position. Yeah, don't be in there
Be a
talking too
sponge.
much.
Soak it up. Yeah, soak it
Yeah,
all
yeah,
in.
yeah.
And that takes some discipline.
Yeah,
Sure.
and just to get back to the speaking to kids and everything, either I heard a preacher say this one time, but when it comes to kids and our words, we speak to them and over them, you're either doing one of two things: you're either building them up or tearing them down. So be mindful of how you address your own kids, other kids in the community, and things like that, because we do want to raise up next generation to be able to be even better than us if possible. Yeah, for
100%,
sure.
100%.
For sure,
That's very
man.
important, man. Cornelius, we want to
Yeah.
thank you for your time today, man. We do appreciate you stepping in with us. This has been a great conversation. Everyone, please tag somebody in this
Yes.
post so you can so they can watch the replays. Of course, it'll live on Facebook. It'll be on YouTube and Twitch as well, Apple and Spotify. You know
Spotify.
someone that needs to hear this message today for sure. Put their
Yeah.
name on the comments.
And
Make
once
them
again,
watch
you can find Mr. Cornelius Kirk as you see his name on the screen on all of your social media platforms, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, what else? Okay, Marissa says she'll check you out. Yeah, she's a great supporter, man. She's a part of our Earth, Wind, and Fire family too, as well as Rhonda. I forget to shout you guys out sometimes as far as our Earth, Wind connection is concerned. Thank you, Mom. Mom hanging in there with us. Another great show. Hey, all
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Any
man.
parting words, my friend?
Yeah, man. The biggest thing is, first of all, thank you guys for sharing your platform. I always tell people they don't understand. Like they can see all this, but they don't understand what happens behind the scenes, all the
Yeah.
work that you have to put in to get this to go. So I appreciate you. The only parting words, man, I'd say for people is be yourself, be original, love yourself, and stop letting your past define where you're going. Man, we are so gifted as humans, and we just the biggest thing I tell people, kids especially, is just continue to get out of your own way. And I'm
Yeah.
telling you, man, we
That's
have
that
so much
self-discipline.
talent inside. Yeah, bro. Like, so yeah, man, just be original, though. Be yourself.
Yeah.
And never let
Yeah.
anybody talk you out of that.
Yeah, that's
awesome,
great, man.
man.
That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah,
very
but you got
much,
Faye?
brother. Nothing for me, man. We're just gonna close it
Yeah.
out. Nothing going
Well, I'm
on
just
for me
gonna-
this week to talk
I'm
about.
just
What you
gonna-
have going on?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Just say what I got coming up this week with the chairman of the board and the executives. Let me go to my files real fast, and I'll tell you. All right, let's see where we're gonna be because it's gonna be a busy week starting Thursday. All right, Thursday we're gonna be the chairman of the board and executives, ladies and gentlemen, will be in Ashe County at the Ashe County Civic Center in West Jefferson, North Carolina. That's Thursday, 7:30 p.m. And then Friday and Saturday we will be at let's see, Tryon International. Let's see, so that's gonna be at the Legends Plaza at the Tryon International. That's gonna be in Mill Springs, North Carolina. That's
Okay, I know where that
Friday
is.
and Saturday, 6:30 p.m. I'll be at Mount Dewell Baptist Church on Sunday.
Yeah.
And shout out to my Mellow Groove brother Brandon Stevens. He and I will be doing a wedding reception in Bennettsville, South Carolina, Sunday evening.
Okay.
So
I might
that's all.
crash. I might crash that wedding. That's close to. That's almost close to where I'm at.
To Bennettsville, come on,
Wedding
and I'll be.
crashes.
And shout out to my college friend, former guest of our platform, Mr. LaTroy Gardner. I'm filming another episode of Stop, Look, and Listen with him tomorrow. So,
Good
hey,
deal. Good show.
I ain't got much going on.
Yeah, man, just a little bit.
I don't
Still
do
got
much.
a couple empty spots on the calendar. I see.
Yeah, I don't do much.
Yeah, man. The Kings of Summer, the chairman of the board, always busy. Check out Cornelius. Make sure you follow Cornelius Kirk and Bro Code TV show, of course. And Cornelius, thank you again, brother, for checking in with us. We'll see everybody next week.
Yeah. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to shout out Praise and Faith Gospel Shop, A Touch of Faith, the Our Power Community, our Earth, Wind, and Fire family, a Honeycomb family, chairman of the board, executives, Mellow Groove. I think that covers
Smooth
FMG.
Smooth sales.
FMG, Smooth Sales,
Yeah.
okay. FMG.
Thank you,
Who else we got? The Cruise Planners, Juan Velasquez,
Planners.
all of you guys who support us every week. We
Yes.
appreciate you so much. And I guess with that being said, let's do it
Yeah.
again next week. And y'all share this
Why
with
wouldn't we?
somebody. We appreciate you so much. Have a great rest of the day, great rest of the week. We'll see you guys later on. Peace and love, y'all.